What up? Welcome back. It is Bones, and let's go ahead and do a topic video. Now, I do these every once in a while when there is something that I want to talk about, and obviously, there is some crazy stuff going on right now that everybody is talking about, and that, of course, is the Infinite Crisis Wave from McFarlane, an exclusive to the McFarlane toy store, and they're asking for a pretty crazy price in a certain way, because there is also the bundle that you could buy. You don't necessarily have to buy each figure for $40. But let's get into it. You know, everybody on here is talking about this, and I couldn't wait to add my 2 cents, because, of course, if you know me, you know that my take is not going to be the same as everyone else's. Now, in all actuality, I think everybody should be thanking McFarlane to give them something to talk about, because it had been a little bit quiet here. But now everybody gets to make their videos and get their views and get their money from said views, because we know that is, basically what everybody here on the tube does. Now, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, well, Bones, you're here making a video as well. But there is something different about me, and that is that regardless of how many times YouTube emails me to join their partner program, I basically tell them to pound sand. I am still not monetized. I do not get any money from my videos or my channel. And I really keep doing this because of the passion for collecting, the enjoyment I get from making content for you guys. I have never asked anybody to sub. I don't really care about views. And I still do this for the love and joy of collecting. And I absolutely do it for free. And this basically takes me back to where I do not have to answer to anybody. I do not have to do what anybody tells me. I can do basically what I want with my channel and with what I actually collect and buy. Now, I did have somebody in the comments recently, and he told me that, oh, you're a liar and you're pushing a lot of BS by telling us to keep hunting and keep collecting, because we know that you get money from your videos and you get free figures, so you're not really hunting. Well, no, and no, because those are all no's. Because yes, I do go hunting. I actually have some footage here where I was going hunting the last couple days. I didn't find anything, but so is the life of a hunter and a collector. And no, I have never gotten any free figures. Well, that is not necessarily true, because I did, hear from a cool guy here, and he messaged me and asked me if I still needed the gray Catwoman for my set of the Arkham Gray figures. And I told him yes. And surprisingly, he didn't ask me for anything. He just asked me for an address, and he sent it to me. And I actually appreciate and value that figure more than I would value any free figures that I got for being a paid shill. So I'm really appreciative of him for sending me that figure. That's the first thing that anybody has ever sent to me, so I really appreciate that. But that is the only free figure I have ever received, from running this channel. Now, in actuality, I actually have tons of things going on right now in my life. I mean, I love collecting. I love the figures. I love customizing. But that is just one facet of my passion. Right now, I'm doing a lot of stuff. I have major projects going on in the city. And when I have free time, and actually I put in a lot of effort to make these videos and to make content for you guys. But actually, I do enjoy doing it. So, we actually feed off of each other, and that is awesome. But that doesn't take away from the fact that this is not the only thing in my life. This is my office where I have all of my figures. There are no figures in the rest of my house. It's just, contained here in my office. So I actually use that to come in here and, a little bit of therapy, a little bit of stress relief, just, customizing or posing or checking out figures. It is something I really enjoy. And that is kind of a big reason why nothing really bothers me. I mean, prices don't bother me. The characters that they release doesn't bother me. Most definitely the worms in the comments don't bother me. So I pretty much just take it as it goes, and whatever happens, happens. And if I enjoy something, I'll spend my money on it. And if something doesn't, hit me or do it for me, then I just don't buy it, or I put it on the back burner that eventually I will buy them. It's just not a major priority for me. Now, I did see the images of the Infinite Crisis wave, and I was really happy because I have always asked for a Spectre figure. That's basically, something that I have asked for, that I wish McFarlane would make a Spectre figure. And just like everybody else, I was really shocked when I actually saw the price. I was like, what's going on? This is pretty crazy. But I also did know to, calm myself and let it play out and see what actually happened, and not fly off the hinges and start ranting and raving like a bunch of idiots, here and online. They just lose their, senses right away. And me, I actually always just, think about it first and let it sink in and decide what I want to do. Now, after the first initial shock of the price and the details of the figures, we have learned a couple of things. Now, first, I do want to say that I actually got my information from about 4 or 5 different people that were messaging me and telling me what they had heard or what they think. And so a lot of this stuff comes directly from the people at McFarlane. And one thing that we do know for sure is that these figures are made and they were produced. Now, some people have different ideas of why this was. A lot of people think this was like a Target wave, that Target actually declined. So McFarlane had to, figure out a way to make his money back for the sculpting and the cost of making the figures. And also this made it that they only produced a small amount of figures. So instead of being, thousands and thousands of retail figures, these ended up being just a small amount of in-house figures that would be sold directly from McFarlane. And trust me when I say that once these figures are gone, they will be gone. You will not see them again unless they are used in like a reuse or a re-release of a figure. This is the only time you will actually get these exact, versions of these characters. Now, another thing that a lot of, morons are pushing is that wait until you see these at Ross or at Ollie's or whatever, kind of discount. And trust me when I say this, these figures will never be at a reduced price. They will never go on clearance. You will never see them at Ross, that is for sure. And if you're wondering why I even think this or know this, and that is because McFarlane is so stubborn and so proud that he would rather actually take a hit or a loss than to send these to some sort of discount store or to even put them at a reduced price on his online store. It's going to be pretty rare. As we know, the Batwing never sold out, but it also has never dropped in price. And that's going to be almost a year ago. And it is still up there for the same price. And that's basically what I think he's going to do with these figures. And that is anything that he has left over after the initial sales, he's just going to keep them posted up, and he'll probably keep them at around the same price. And if there's a small that if he were to reduce the price, it would probably be years from now. So I would more than likely say that that is not going to happen. So anyone advising you or pushing to wait until these go on sale, they're pretty much dreaming, because that is not going to happen. Now, I actually weighed in a lot about actually ordering this set. I thought about it a long time. I looked into how much it was actually going to cost. And when I saw the single figures for $40, I basically said, what is McFarlane smoking and where can I get some? Because he is pretty much high as F. I mean, crazy, crazy prices that you're asking for these figures, especially singular ones. Now, if you buy it in the bundle, you can, almost justify it. And that is because I used actually the 15% off code. Then I actually had $5 of credit, which I don't know where it came from, but it was there. So I went ahead and put it in. And my shipping, the cheapest was like $13. So basically, in the end, when I thought about it for a while, I was actually paying. If you round it off for four figures, I was paying about $34 a figure, which is basically what I pay for a collector's edition with tax. And I was like, screw it. This is the only time we're going to get a chance to get these figures. McFarlane is not going to re-release them or put them on sale. I mean, that's a slim chance, if any. So, really rare figures, really obscure characters, and a small amount of actual product means that you better jump on it, because if I know anything, I know that a lot of the McFarlane store exclusives have gone on to be some of the most sought after figures and the higher priced figures. You're looking at the original Hush Superman, which never got restocked. Now you're going to pay a good price. You're looking at that creepy little bastard, Dick Grayson Robin, also another figure that is hard to pick up in the secondary market. And even the blue Kyle Rayner, once it's sold out, now if you look for it on the secondary market, you're going to pay more than double. So I didn't want to be one of those people that, kick myself afterwards for not picking these up. So I went ahead and ordered the bundle, which if you cheat a little bit and you actually break it down to 5 figures because you are getting the monitor figure, then I pretty much paid about $28 a figure. And the bad part is that since I am basically a completionist, I must have at least one version of all the McFarlane releases. Then I was pretty much caught in a tight spot. And I went ahead and pulled the trigger reluctantly, but also satisfyingly, because I know that I will be actually one of the ones that has these figures in his collection. And in the end, that's what it's all about, is my complete DC Multiverse collection. I mean, I have a big old Batwing up here behind me that was not cheap. So $130 to me was actually nothing. And depending on what happens over the weekend, I may end up ordering a second set just because I'm sick like that.
God, you're sick.
And nobody could tell me how to spend my money, and nobody will tell me how to spend my money, just the same way that I will not tell you how to spend your money. You can buy whatever you want. You can buy whatever line you want, and you'll never get anything negative from me. But I just ask for the same respect back to allow me to collect my line the way I want to collect it. Now, then I got the surprise of my life when I actually saw that the $40 each figure Spectre actually sold out. And that is when I started asking myself, what are the scalpers and the other collectors actually smoking? Because that is some heavy stuff. Because who's going to pay almost $50 for one figure? I mean, get the bundle. Get the bundle. It's the easiest thing. You're getting the most bang for your buck than to actually pay almost $50 for one figure. Now, I get it. Maybe people were buying two, one that they will sell, afterwards. But that is another thing that I have never done. I have never bought, multiples of a figure and then actually sold them later on to make a profit. I have never, sold a figure and shipped it, because that's another thing that I really don't like doing, is actually shipping things. It's just like a pet peeve of mine, unless it is absolutely necessary. But that is one of the reasons why I don't resell figures or sell any extras. But yeah, there's a lot of psychos out there, because I do not understand how that singular release Spectre actually sold out. Now, I have a feeling that by the time the weekend finishes, the bundle actually may be sold out as well. Now, I may be wrong, but we will have to wait and see how it goes. Now, there is actually one big positive from this whole debacle, and there's actually a couple of them, but the first one is that we now have some new body molds, some new sculpt work that can be used actually on future figures that I do think will go back to the original regular prices. We did hear from McFarlane's people, and they did say that this is a one-time thing due to cost. So just let everybody know that this is just for this wave, and all other figures will be staying at their standard prices, mostly because they do want to give the best value for their figures. So this is just a one-off thing. So anybody out there saying that $40 is the new price point for McFarlane, they are basically pushing a lot of stupidity, because that is not true at all. Now, the other good thing that came out of this is, I think after, everybody ranted and raved and the comments and all that, I'm pretty sure McFarlane has an idea of where his figure should be and what his price point is really at. Nobody wants to be paying $40 for a standard McFarlane figure or even a collectible figure. And I'm pretty sure that McFarlane got the message. But we will have to wait and see how it all plays out. Now, we do have for sure 2 more full years left of McFarlane with the DC license. Now, if he continues it or not, it does not make a difference to me, because I have always been a DC action figure collector, specifically a mass retail collector, and I will continue to do that as long as I can. So if McFarlane loses a license and another company picks it up, I will delve into that line and, see how it goes. Maybe I'll enjoy it. Maybe I will not enjoy it, but I will still probably collect it, because I am a big DC action figure collector, regardless of McFarlane, of Mattel, of whoever has the license. I have been doing this for years, and I don't see myself stopping anytime soon, and I will go on as long as I can. And that is one thing that I do promise you. But anyways, that's my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. Hopefully we could get past this and move on and look forward to some awesome releases from McFarlane in the upcoming months. But anyways, you guys keep hunting out there, keep collecting, keep customizing, and I will see you on the next one.
They used to call me Crazy Joe, but now they can call me Batman.